All right, good morning, everyone. We'll get started here for the routine weekly briefing here, starting on Monday, June 5th, and going into Sunday, June 11th. This is meteorologist Andrew Kren from the National Weather Service in Raleigh. All right, for the upcoming weather pattern this week, we have a surface front that is dropping south this evening. That is going to bring the threat of some isolated showers and storms, mainly across the western North Carolina Piedmont. We'll talk about that in a little bit later in the next couple slides. We have that frontal boundary that is going to continue to kind of linger across the area into Thursday before slowly sliding south Thursday night to early Friday. So along and ahead of that boundary, we're going to have the chance for showers and a couple storms kind of existing today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and part of Thursday, followed by some drier weather by week's end. We're going to have near to above normal temperatures to kind of start our week, and then we'll eventually trend to back to below normal in the 70s to low 80s as we end the work week. But it looks like we'll see warmer temperatures returning for the weekend as high pressure settles across the Western Atlantic, and we could see a return chance of some precipitation come Sunday to early next week, Monday. So our severe thunderstorm potential, I talked about the isolated threat for showers and storms today. So we have that primarily across the western Piedmont. That includes the Triad, the southern Piedmont going into the Charlotte area, primarily along and west of US 1. Tomorrow and Wednesday, there is a severe threat, but it's going to be south of our area. So mostly across South Carolina and coastal North Carolina, kind of towards the Wilmington area. We are not looking at any severe potential for the latter part of the week and for the upcoming weekend. For today, that's a marginal risk, so it's a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe storms, mostly this afternoon and tonight. And the primary risk for that today is going to be for damaging winds and hail. And then that severe threat, as I mentioned, for Tuesday and Wednesday is primarily focused south of central North Carolina. So here's kind of a zoomed in threat graphic for today, mostly for tonight. The timing for any kind of isolated showers and storms that could be severe looks to be between roughly 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. tonight. And those primary risks, again, looks to be some large hail and some damaging winds. We think most of the storms will kind of focus in that dark green area with that threat for hail and strong winds and some dangerous lightning. As we go towards the triangle, I think the threat for any kind of storms greatly diminishes, but we certainly can't rule out maybe a isolated storm or two reaching as far as the US 1 corridor. Going over our precipitation totals for the next couple days and into Friday. Again, today, most of the precipitation accumulation will be across the western Piedmont, the Triad, and the southern Piedmont, with amounts a quarter, basically a tenth to a quarter of an inch. Certainly, if there is some heavier storms, those could put down some locally heavy rainfall above what we have predicted. Tuesday, that actual frontal system kind of primarily kind of set up across the sandhills, so including like Fayetteville. So any kind of precipitation accumulation on Tuesday should primarily be across the sandhills and into South Carolina. And then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, we'll get another reinforcing boundary kind of settling down from the Ohio Valley. So we'll get increasing chances for rainfall, but rainfall totals don't look to be that excessive, maybe a quarter of an inch or less at this point. And as we head into Friday, drier weather ensues as we get high pressure settling in from the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic region. So really the 5-day total, which for that bottom right graphic shows, is that, you know, we're looking anywhere from 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, maybe up to a 1/2 of an inch, kind of towards the Charlotte area and towards the coast of North Carolina. So overall, not a really rainy week expected, except for a couple days, and especially towards the mid to latter part of the week. Given those light precipitation amounts, there's no threat currently in effect for any excessive rain or flash flooding. So that is good news. The Hurricane Center has started to continue to produce a 7-day tropical weather outlook. And as of 8 a.m. this morning, there was an area of showers and thunderstorms that was kind of located near the northeastern Atlantic Ocean, close to the Azores. There is no threat that this would impact land. That's actually expected to drift further north into the northeastern Atlantic, and that will move over cooler waters, so it should dissipate. But really, there's no impact across the United States, so the tropics are relatively quiet over us. Into the extended, the 8 to 14-day outlook. So after we get somewhat of a cooler pattern the latter part of this week, but a rebound in temperatures for the upcoming weekend, it looks like as we go into 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, we will continue to see a trend to some near to below normal temperatures. So kind of what we've been experiencing for the mid to latter part of May and into this first week in June. We'll take it because we know that the heat, once it arrives, is going to be, it may actually be fairly hot. So we can take this weather while we can and enjoy it before the heat comes in the summertime. And then in terms of precipitation outlook, we are looking at a slightly above normal threat for rainfall, but looks like it's mostly going to be around average precipitation expectation. Our normal temperatures for this time of year, we should be in the mid 80s in Greensboro, upper 80s in Raleigh and in Fayetteville. So our trend in the extended outlook looks to be a little bit below those actual predicted readings, our normal temperatures. All right, so closing it out for the weather summary. So we have a stalled frontal boundary that will be across the region for the early and middle part of the week that will eventually slowly sag south of central North Carolina late Thursday to early Friday. And then we'll see high pressure building in by the latter part of the week and especially the weekend. So our chances for showers and a couple chances for storms will exist roughly each day, but I think the best chances outside of today will be Wednesday and Thursday. And then we'll see near to above normal temperatures that will trend cooler than normal as we head into the end of the week, and some drier weather will follow as well. There's a return for some warmer weather with some mid to upper 80s as we get to Saturday, Sunday, and potentially some spots near 90, along with an increasing chance for some storms potentially Sunday and early next week, Monday. Our hazards and impacts primarily focus on today for that isolated thunderstorm threat, primarily across the Triad and the southern Piedmont, where some large hail and some damaging wind gusts could occur. And I think roughly that time frame is going to be between 5 and 11 p.m. this evening.